Are we sore that we don't have the contract? Of course we're sore that we don't have the contract, but mostly because of the way they handled the situation. We, being the only providers there ever for Riverside, have always gone through negotiations. I've been the only person to negotiate a contract with Riverside for almost 10 years now, and nobody is ever happy when you negotiate. Compromise means both sides give in a little bit. But there really wasn't much compromise on this contract. There was agreement between us and the administration right out of the chute from day one with regards to money, scope of services, and everything. So we're mostly upset about two things. One, that we're not providing anesthesia there, and two, in the manner in which Riverside decided to terminate their contract. That was just, it wasn't right. So that's what we're sore about. I think Riverside has lost its way. I came to Riverside June the 1st, 1986, and it was a really good institution, and it had good providers, good surgeons, good docs. Hospital administration pretty much left us alone, and we were productive, and we were very, very good. About 3 years ago, things started to change, and in my opinion, we haven't lost sight, but I think Riverside has lost sight of what's important. And what's important is the people that we take care of. And that should be the number one thing, because if you take care of patients and you do it right, the money's going to come naturally, and the bills are going to be paid, and everybody's going to do just fine. But when that situation is reversed, and when the money takes precedent over everything else, and that's what the concerns are, that's what's wrong, not just with Riverside, but it's what's wrong with healthcare in the United States, that we've really lost sight of what we're doing this for. And we're doing it to take care of patients. And if we do that, we'll make plenty of money. So yes, I think they've lost their way. You know, this is April the 16th, and Riverside decided to terminate its contract with SOMA today. And we kind of thought that Riverside was getting it when they decided to terminate their contract with SOMA. And through conversations that Pat Parcells had with the Daily Press and with Wavy 10 news station, it became apparent that they probably haven't gotten it, because the first questions that reporters from both of those organizations asked me was, would I release my providers to go work for Riverside Medical Group? First and foremost, I'm the president of a 70-person group. I'm not the dictator of a 70-person group. So it's not up to me to be the person who releases them. But our contract is very similar to the physicians of Riverside Medical Group. Every physician in Riverside Medical Group has a non-compete in their contract. And I doubt very seriously that if perhaps one of the neurosurgeons for Riverside said, hey, I'm going to go work down the road with the competing hospital because they're going to pay me a lot of money, would Riverside let that surgeon out of their non-compete? And I don't think so. We are more than happy to discuss a reasonable solution with Riverside. Our attorney has tried over 24 hours now to contact a Riverside attorney about sitting down and discussing this. We've received no answer from them. Everything's negotiable, but it's not our job to take Riverside out of a bad decision that they made. And just because they got rid of a management company that couldn't meet their needs doesn't mean that it's our responsibility to make them successful. Pretty much it's their responsibility to come to us and talk to us as physicians and as colleagues. And that's what I feel about our non-compete. I've been asked if another reason if we would go back to work at Riverside. And the truth of the matter is, and this is something I said to Channel 10 News and to the Daily Press Reporter, given the way that this group has been treated by the leadership at Riverside Hospital, I doubt very much whether many people are willing to go back and work for people who have treated us in such a fashion, who have said the things about us publicly as they have. And I think everybody would have a really hard time with it. And the problem is, for Riverside, is there's a lot less anesthesia providers out there than there is jobs. And while 32 of us are being displaced, some of us are going to find positions in the community. Some of us are going to go somewhere else, reluctantly, but we will, and we will find jobs. To replace 30 people from the start, from scratch, to try to get a good organizational structure going in a facility like Riverside is going to take years. It's not going to take 6 months. It's going to take years for them to recover from this. Anesthesia is a very, very complex specialty that has grown enormously. We do numerous procedures outside the operating room every day, along with doing them in the operating room and labor and delivery, the cardiac cath lab, X-ray, GI lab, all over the place. And to find 30 providers who are willing to do what we did is going to take a long time, and I fear that the hospital is going to suffer irreparable damage that's going to take years to overcome, and it doesn't have to be that way. It does not have to be that way.